Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast one more time. Hanging out in the dungeon today. It's going to sound a little bit different. Steven is not here at this exact time, but we've got some guests that we're not going to keep them here all day. Possibility of maybe getting him on the phone here in a little bit if he doesn't get to show up and make it. But we have Tyler Pickens and Cody Bedsworth here with us today. What's going on, guys?
Not a whole lot.
Not much.
This is a little different for you.
Yep.
Last time we did you way earlier in the year, over the phone.
Yep.
You kind of had a half a digit little tore up.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, the guy who's sitting right next to you, that kind of started his train rolling.
Yep.
For pretty much the rest of the summer, you know, what he did. So, guys, we appreciate you taking your time out of your build day.
Yeah.
Because we all know it's getting that time. It's getting that time of everybody who is signed up to run Topeka that is their sole purpose for the next month and a few days. Anybody get to go to a show yesterday?
I did not go, but my brother was there, so I was keeping updates with him, basically.
Yeah.
Just because it's kind of, I like to keep up with all the local derbies and stuff, so.
It's so hard to do.
Yeah.
It is so hard to do. I mean, unless you've got a crew of, you know, where a couple can go to one direction, a couple go the other direction, it makes it rough. You know, to my knowledge, there was one south, one west, well, pretty damn close to you. It looked like the Lucky Sevens guys down in Versailles had a pretty good show. They ran stock cars, gut and goes, and the figure eights. Is that right? Didn't even get to catch who all. I didn't see any real results. I saw some results for Huntsville. The JS Promotions. Looks like they had some Madison guys go over there and clean up pretty good. It looked like Cody Hendren won it. Landon Wynn second, Blake Holtz third, and Tyler Milner with a Mad Dog. They said Milner was just putting in work. So then we had little cars. I believe you guys said Stephen Lawrence was in Will Lawrence's car. Looks like he run it down and ended up winning that too. The gut and goes looked like they had about 6 or 7 of them, I think.
I think they said Josh won in his minivan.
Josh won in the
I think
minivan.
So.
I'm ready to see that minivan cut in pieces. I really am.
About like Cody's compact car.
Oh, come on.
Will that fucking thing ever die, dude?
It probably should have a long time ago.
Honestly, I could cut it apart right now, but it's kind of like, as far as the ass end goes, yes, it needs to be cut apart, but up front, it's still got a run or two left in it. So
I was a little. Dino said something to me when he was here, and we didn't air it. And then the next thing I know, we're at Pleasant Hill, and I look over, and it's like, that car looks awful familiar. And Dino come up to me, he's like, I told you if he let me, I was going to bring it. And I was like, well, get it on. And then he was kind of upset. We were standing there after, you know, and I was doing on-track interviews, and I looked over, and Cody reached in and went, started it right up.
Yeah. He so that all that really started out as kind of a joke. We were all hanging out one weekend or whatever, and Corey and all them, which Steven's the same way. They're like anti-compact cars, or they think they are. So I was telling Dino, because I hang out with him quite a bit, and I'm telling him, just try it. Just run a compact car, whatever. Well, he was going to run my car. Well, it could be ran again, just needs a lot of work. So, and I was telling him, like, man, Cody, he's kind of to the point where he just doesn't care. Like, if somebody wants to run it, they go and jump in it and run it.
Yeah.
So, that week or whatever, I was getting ready to go to his house to go and work on my Blizzard Bash car anyways. And Dino's like, I'm going to come up there and run. I'm going to come up there and hang out with you guys or whatever. And I'm like, whatever. So then he's like, come to my house or whatever. I go to his house. Dude has a 30-foot trailer hooked up. I'm like, wait, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm going to run Cody's car. We're going to go work on it, and I'll just take it up to P Hill. And I'm like, whatever. So that's
what you got to do.
I didn't think he was actually going to do it, but
Well, he did tell me afterwards. He was disappointed because he wasn't sure what happened, and then he kind of looked at me. He said, "I'm building one."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
And he was pretty quick to tell me that too. So
they're a lot of work, but I like the idea of building one and running it for several shows instead of, which a lot of people do have the big cars figured out, but for me that'd be a whole fresh start. So I wouldn't.
Which we have talked. Maybe you trying to go to that big car side of it a little bit, but it's roughly the same amount of money to build them.
Yeah.
Really, it is. And then you've got how many runs on yours?
I think I quit running the 2-door after 16 times.
And I swear to God, your car, Cody, has been around.
Mine's got 29 runs on it right now.
29. But the last time I saw it, it's hurt. It's
hurt. That's why I said he needs to just cut it apart.
Yeah. I mean, there is zero ass left on the car. The right front horn looks like it is about 1.5 feet higher in the air than the left side is.
That just looks.
That just looks. Well, guys, we're going to get into it a little bit here. Kind of see how Cody started. We do know how Tyler got going in this deal. We're going to ask Cody how he got started in this.
Well, it's been a few years back now, but I ran around when I was younger and done a little bit of figure eighting, stuff like that with piters, and then went to a couple of the demolition derbies with Brandon Piter to start with, and just was helping. I helped him out a few times in the shop on one of his cars. Went and watched him run it. Never did ride with him or nothing like that, but I was like, it'd be fun too. And then me and Brady Smith started hanging out a lot and got around him, and everyone knows he derbies and stuff too. So he had a car at the time, and we like to drink beer.
No.
And
no derby guys like to drink beer.
And I think that's around the time Brady started being about an hour late to every show. Because Friday nights would come, and we'd work on the cars for an hour or so, and then we'd get tired of working on it, so we'd leave and go to the bar. We'd shut it down. We'd always say we were going to come back after we shut the bar down, finish the car, load it, and then go to bed. That never would happen. We'd come home, keep drinking and bullshitting, and then stand there and look at the car till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we'd go to bed, and then we'd wake up rushing on it to finish it in the morning. Sometimes I was putting motors and transmission in that morning and go to the show. And I started riding with him pretty much every show. Unless a girl wanted to ride, he'd always kick me out. But otherwise, I had the passenger seat, and we had a lot of fun times. That's kind of whenever I started really going around the derbies and getting into it and stuff like that. And then kind of all the stuff started where about every show we went to, it was kind of like us against solo boys or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just riding. And it's like a lot of times we went to, Higbee and Shelbine and different places like that. It was kind of us, and we might have one other person there or something to help us out, and everyone knows solo boys. Most of the time they come somewhere, they got 4 or 5 cars or whatever.
Yeah, they're rolling deep.
And I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to build one and be there to help. We talked about it, and then it didn't really happen until the Richmond team show. We'll take that back. Justin started hanging around with us, Bockham, and derbying a little bit. And me and him kind of went together and built a car. And he ran it once at Eldon, and then I turned around and ran it at Moberly. And then that's all we ran that year. The following year, we both built fresh cars to go around with Brady and Richmond team show. And that's kind of basically how I got started in it. I didn't have no family that ever did it or nothing like that.
A word that keeps coming back is progression. I remember seeing you when you got in a car, had shit luck. I mean, nothing went right. This year, on the other hand, it seems like a whole lot has went right.
Yeah. On this last car I built, I spent a lot more money and a lot more time and trying to make it where I could go out and compete, rather than go out and look dumb.
Just kind of be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like go all in or don't do it at all.
Well, then it turns around. Looks like your brother and your dad is just following suit with this, I think Tommy's first derby was Madison's first derby this year.
Yes.
Goes out full, sends that bitch. And then your dad turned around and his first one was
Paris.
Our Paris. Yeah, our Piling Up in Paris show.
Yes.
And it looks like these guys who never saw him run until this year. And then it's like they're just keeping on. This little Thomas the Choo-Choo train has started, throughout the summer. When I talked to you this spring, it was one of those things where you said how proud of Cody, that you were, that he's went through the trials and tribulations, figuring out where the shit breaks, where it's going to bend, what you have to do to fix that issue, and that's one thing you were so proud about. He never got down.
Yeah.
We all kind of know, everybody, you get to the shop, you're pissed off, shit happens. We've all talked about it. We hate parts failure. But a lot of the stuff in your all's cars, you build, correct?
Correct.
All the ZFG struts?
Yeah, I've built several of them. And Brady has too, on, some of the cars we've ran and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what, especially now on what he's sold or stuff like that, or, as far as what other people are running, whether they got them too or not. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of, like, our battery boxes in our cars and stuff like that, I've always built my own.
It's always one thing to, a lot of people, which, like my little brother, he's into it, and he didn't really start out kind of like I did or like Cody did, where you just kind of throw a car together and go out there and run. And that's a lot of the way the derby world is now. It's more of like people just want to know the secrets or on how to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people are into building your own car and trying your own things and just going out there and doing it. And then if it goes wrong, of course you're going to be mad because nobody likes to lose. But more of, okay, I did this and it didn't work, so I'm going to try this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was getting at with him, is like, yeah, he hung around Brady or whatever, and Brady builds a good car. I mean, and these people that he hung out with, they all build good cars, but it's not like they're just like, here, Cody, this is how you do it. And it's the same thing with me. They were never just like, okay, well, this is how you build a mod compact car. Go do this and then go run. It was more of a, like he said, him and Justin went half on building the car. Justin ran it, he ran it, which the car's still around, but it's nothing compared to the bumper bracket's way shorter. It has half the plates on it.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that we're doing now is just basically from what we've experienced on previous cars or just fixing it as we go. I mean, the car's been around forever. Everything, it's got to go somewhere. So,
Yeah.
And it's not a, it might seem like it because we make it to every show. Like we went, 6 or 7 straight weekends derbying, and then we took a 1 weekend break where there wasn't a derby, and then we were right back at it for 8 weekends.
Yeah.
But he has called me and he's like, 11 o'clock at night, hey, I got to change a motor. My car, he let Danny Hobbs run his car at Palmyra on like a Friday, and that night he called me at 11 o'clock and was like, motor locked up, got to change it for the derby tomorrow. So I leave Brookfield, make a 2.5-hour drive, and go all the way to his house, and we change a motor that morning. We went up there and just went to sleep, basically. And change a motor that morning, and then he ends up winning the show. So it's a lot of, it's not like he built the car right or whatever, so he's going to keep running. There's a lot of stuff that goes into every weekend after derbies, a bunch of fixing and pulling and torching. It's a lot, really.
I am going to say it that you guys, your group of guys, are a lot more dedicated than some of the other ones around here, period. And that's any class. You see Rob and Trey in the big cars, they'll hit, but they're not hitting those 6 or 8 in a row. Brady, same way. He's not hitting 6 or 8 in a row. Even the Illinois guys on that side, Clayton, Danny, Tyler, I say Illinois guys, but a couple of them are about as far as you can get east without crossing some water. But they all kind of pick and choose. You guys, I noticed, you don't pick and choose. You just go wherever the fuck. It's like you spin a wheel and, okay, that's where we're going, so that's where you go.
I wish it was a spin a wheel kind of thing. It's more of I get a FaceTime at like 11 o'clock at night on like a Wednesday, and Cody's like, get your car ready, we're going here, I found this derby. And I'm like, how far away is it? Don't matter, we're going. I'm I mean,
I don't care.
Well, my biggest thing is you can't win if you ain't there.
yeah.
Correct. He's not here, so he can't really bust my chops at this point in time. But you never see anybody get into a race car and go out and win right off the bat. It just doesn't happen. There's not enough seat time. You guys both are setting yourself up for success because of the amount of seat time. You're running against different builders. You're running against different drivers. Some variation of the rule set, than what you're used to, but it's still the basic principle. You're making yourself better for doing what you're doing. 6 or 8. I mean, I announce most all of them around here, and I have to go to other states and stuff. But all those places that I go to, it's still not see the amount of faces that you guys are everywhere.
Oh, yeah. We try and make them all.
Your all's year started out with Mother's Day, correct?
Yep.
Our Mother's Day Madness team show?
Mm-hmm.
Cash check?
No, 4th place.
That's what I thought.
One
I
away.
thought you were one away. I thought y'all were one away from it.
That was all Tyler's fault.
No, I was the last one.
Well, let's run Posse.
It worked for me.
I'd have been at the end if I didn't have it.
See, I tell him this all the time. His problem is he likes to go out and hit people too much and too hard and too fast. If he just lets up a little bit, he'll be great.
If you just back off just a smidge, right at impact.
Yeah.
I've been told that by a lot of people.
But it's not near as fun, is it?
That's what I'm saying. If I go there and I sandbag and I didn't win, I'd be mad at myself. If I go and
you go balls out full tilt and don't win, that's still...
I'm still
See,
going
then
home
I'm really
happy.
mad because then I go home with no money, no trophy, and a car that I have to fix.
We're going to blame that one on Danny. Because your shit was pretty okay until that point in time. Yeah, we're going to blame Danny Hobbs for that one. Yeah.
Well, still Steven's fault, but yeah, we'll blame Dan.
As if y'all can heard from previous podcasts, we get blamed for a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
I was telling Steven that I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. There's so much you have to deal with. It's too much, really.
I got a phone call today, and it was about a half hour, and we kind of talked about a few things, and he was like, dude, did anybody text you after the last episode? I said, no. Some people got a hold of Steven, and he said, here's the thing. He said, I'm not trying to toot anybody's horn. He's like, but don't these guys around here realize if they push you all out, what they're going to have to deal with? I said, well, yeah, to a certain extent, I do. He was like, you've got fair techs, top to bottom. He's like, you don't have guys running out and just snapping people's sticks off, all pissed off and start shit. I said, correct. He said, I don't think they realize how good they have it. We've always said we're not perfect. We're going to fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
Period.
It's a human thing.
But, correct. Everybody is going to at some point in time, except you.
Yeah.
I saw
So
that one. So he thanks. Well, guys, usually this is about the time where we start talking about what you all got going on for the rest of the year. I know what you guys got going on for the rest of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, Blizzard Bash 2022. You guys were lucky enough to get a team spot.
Yep.
For World Compacts.
We didn't get the spot, but we got asked to be on the team.
That's the same shit.
Yeah.
Same shit. It don't matter who's at the top and who's at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's still the same group.
We'll be at the top.
Yeah. Hopefully.
That's usually, when we try to talk about guys making that transition to the big stuff, who's on your all's team? Or is it announced yet? The other two guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan Painter is from Kentucky, and then Aaron Hall from, I want to say Illinois. It's Tyler Verdon's cousin. So,
Illinois.
Yeah.
So it's not like you guys are you didn't just throw one together. I mean, Jonathan Painter goes... One thing I've learned when I go to Kentucky to watch a show, you watch a show.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, them guys in Kentucky are no joke. They don't mess around. You've got some really good drivers and builders from the Kentucky area, and usually try to ask what your plans are for the big show. Well, before we hit the go button, it was already said of what the plan was for the big show. Now, the question is, team draws. In compacts, do you guys run 1v1
It's
for your heat?
Yeah.
Yes.
One team against one team.
Okay.
Similar to the way Mother's Day Madness was set up. It's just 4-man.
Okay. Here's the question. Your all's plan, will it change depending on who you draw?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Hell no.
So we're going to go ahead and throw this out there. The first thing that they told me before we hit the go button is their plan is to completely junk their shit in the heat.
Correct.
And have nothing left to run, whether it's a Consi or the feature.
Yeah.
So
our plan is full send, start to finish. Doesn't matter who we draw, buddies or not. We're still going to get out, shake hands. I'll even help. I mean, if I destroy a buddy's car,
somebody else's shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, if ours ain't fixable, we'll go help.
Yeah.
That's the whole deal of how much you guys have to fix. A lot of the guys that go, they'll take skid steers and plasma cutters and porta powers and come-alongs and 1,400 sledgehammers. Have you guys tried to figure out what the extent that you're willing to go to fix?
Oh, I mean,
taking spare motors, transmissions.
Yeah, we're taking all that with us.
So basically, if anybody knows anything about Cody, he thinks time is not a factor. It's just how he works. So I'm sure at one point we'll have our motors ripped out, struts off, probably have a car in the back of his truck at one point. You never really know. That was the first thing he said. It's like, well, if we go to put our plates on our car, why don't we just pull our motor out? I'm like, absolutely not. Like, if I don't have to, why would I? But we'll probably do that.
But now this one is a full cradle show, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Just no tie-in, no plates until after the heat, which is what makes it so difficult.
We're only allowed our bumper brackets for the heat.
Yeah.
No plates.
No plates, period.
No
which
plates.
All the shit around here, you used to 12 plates? Is that right?
8 plates.
You get 8?
And
Yeah.
a 16-inch
Fresh.
bumper. Yeah.
On a fresh car.
With a 16-inch bumper bracket.
Yep.
I'm not real sharp on the compact side, but doesn't that damn near go all the way to the strut on a 16-inch bumper bracket?
It gets close.
Close to it?
If you got a bumper bracket and one plate, you can basically get to the front of your strut.
That's a lot of metal. No wonder y'all can't hardly walk for shit when y'all get out of them. Or lose thumbs and all sorts of shit. But here is, which me and you talked before, kind of what our plan is on this end. Do you, being that it's a full cradle show, have either of you guys ever got to run full cradles before?
I have.
You have?
No.
You not?
I just bought my cradle like 2 weeks ago. First time ever. Never even put one on a motor.
So does that change your build plan in your brain? Because we all know the derby guys, most of them don't just go by the seat of their ass when they're building something. It's very thought out. A lot of time it's drawn out. Making that significant of a change, how has that adjusted your process from your normal builds?
Well, with the no plate thing, that's the worst part, I think, because not only, which for us it's not going to change anything because we've already made up our mind, but a lot of people don't necessarily change the way they build a car, and I don't think we're necessarily doing that either, minus the plates and stuff. It's just a lot of people's driving style will change, but we don't really have a plan to change that. So,
well, I am talking to two guys on the side of their car all year. One said ZFG, which in my remembrance is zero fucks given, and DILLIGAF.
Yeah.
Does it look like I give a fuck? So I think that goes back to your driving styles. So without the plates, with the cradle, in your mind, it's going to be harder.
See, the cradle's not really going to help you, though, until you can tie it in. It's going to allow, which like a lot of guys now with their carbon header protectors, it's doing the same thing as a cradle would do without being able to tie in. Once it hits your firewall, it's going to slow it down. Still going to move, but it's going to slow it down. So in our heat, it's kind of like we're going out there just without a cradle, without anything, just a bumper bracket on our cars. Like, the cradle's not doing nothing for you at that point, unless you bend to it, so far
until it locks it
into the
they're
firewall.
Basically,
but
the way that it's set up is they're designed to let your car bend to a certain point. So you got to figure out how to keep it from bending.
And where you want it to bend.
The goal is to not let it bend.
But it comes back to that. You guys are full sending this for the heat. Well, could be another group that you draw that have the exact same intentions.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a possibility of a lot of nose to nose shots without the plates. Have you figured? And I'm sure you're both taking cars that you are very familiar with. You're not going to take something off the wall that you guys haven't ran before. So I'm going to guess they're W bodies, whether it's 2-door or 4 doors.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
You know where their habit is of bending with your build style and your driving style.
Mm-hmm.
So can you, in that build process, know, okay, this thing is I know it's going to bend right here. I know it is. So can that adjust your fix-it plates, your issues, and then make it where it doesn't bend back there again?
We do know where the cars will bend in the heat, or at least I do. I don't know about him.
Everywhere.
But I know where it's going to bend at first, and then if I keep sending it, if it stays running and keeps moving, it could bend, in other places after that. But I'm not really too worried about where it's going to bend, because that's between the cradle and the bumper, and truthfully, I don't care if my bumper is touching my front of my cradle.
Yeah.
I'll just keep sending it.
Yeah, I've
That's
noticed that about him. He just keeps fucking sending it.
Yeah. Yeah. But that the goal is not to go out there and lose, and the goal is not to run the consi, because we've been talking about it too. Basically, everybody knows how Blizzard Bash works. You go out there, you're not alone, really. No one really shows up there, and that's even fair shows. That's everywhere you go. You're not going to go out there and be like, okay, well, I'm here by myself. Let's see if I can win it.
Correct.
The way we were talking, basically you don't want to go to the consi because they take one team and one team only. So if you go to a consi and say there's 3 people that run together and you're the 4th team in there, sorry about your luck. You beat the 3 teams or you go home.
Odd man out.
Yeah, so
4 on 12 sucks. Yeah. I mean, I'm no mathematician, but 4 on 12, those odds are really horrible. You guys are going. Some of your other buddies are going.
Yep.
And some of your other buddies are going.
Yep.
So there is a very good chance that 3 teams from our area who run most of all of our shows and some of the other ones around, plus a couple of our techs. There is a possibility of 3 plus an orange team down the road. 4 teams in the feature. It is very possible. Then you're going to throw in, I'm sure, a couple Iowa teams, a couple Minnesota teams. I'm not even sure. I haven't even seen the teams list yet.
They're supposed to release a driver's list soon, but
yeah, I don't know if. Candace is down here hanging out with us over at P Hill, and she's the one I'm sure that does all that stuff. And I'm not dogging on her at all. She was 500 miles away from home. This being your first big show, are you looking into more for next year?
I talked to Cody about that too. I'm not opposed to going out of state and running also. There's like Peoria, P Hill, stuff like that. They have pretty big shows, but I'm talking even further. Checking out the Wicked Team show, maybe something like that. Just because
Have you ever been?
No, but I've seen several videos.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a couple guys together from around here and go out of state and run a fair show out of state somewhere, just for fun.
Because it's like almost like a battle of the border kind of thing. It's like if a Missouri guy goes to Illinois, it gets dangerous. If an Illinois guy comes to Missouri.
But I'm going to say this. We had Drew on the other day. He went over to P Hill for the first time. They took 4. 32 against 4. Those odds really suck. But have you noticed? Okay, them guys took 4 over there. Ran against everybody but their own 4. Usually when the Illinois guys come over here, they try to get them odds a lot more even.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. I'm not saying Clayton Fernandez is the smartest crayon in the book, or by any means, but like when he comes over, he's not bringing in just himself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's bringing...
That's why he's saying we wanted to get a couple guys from here and go over there.
to go play. But that's the thing about those guys. They'll play.
Oh, yeah.
They don't give 2 shits. They just want to go out. They want to rock people, get rocked, and have fun.
Yeah. We're actually good friends with
Yeah, I mean,
Clayton.
we're pretty close
Don't
with them guys.
claim him. Don't claim him.
Him and Cody are a lot alike, though. They don't really care if they go out there and win or not. They just want to go and hit somebody really hard.
Yep.
I'm just prettier than he is.
That is the thing.
But we are friends with the Dorsey and Justin Lane and them, but they're also a lot like us, where we'll go to their place or they'll come to our place and we'll run with them or they'll run with us or whatever. But we both know as soon as it comes to that time, then it's just a party.
Oh yeah.
So, and they're okay with it too. So
yeah, if that unlucky poor son of a bitch that hasn't figured it out yet, okay, these guys and these guys, okay, they came in together. Well, they're not hitting each other. Uh-oh. I'm the unlucky poor bastard in the middle that's going to take it any which way they want to give it to you.
yeah.
And you see a lot of those guys, and you see a lot of those guys who have built, which we have always talked, to the bottom side of a build level. You know, there's always that top level, you're pushing every issue you can possibly push, to the bottom guy who just wants to throw it together, go out and just have a good time. Those are the ones that make me a little nervous. You know, from up there that high, sitting there watching it, and I can see how cars are bending and see, you know, our Paris Derby was roughly 240 foot long, and then by the time you go from corner to corner, it was 300 foot. You two are not wired in the correction of lifting. Correct? Yeah, y'all don't lift.
No.
The problem is that the Illinois guys, they don't lift either. So there is a possibility of a 300 foot from one end to the other, meet in the middle, as fast as you can hit somebody.
If I can get my wire unhooked, I'll hit second.
What'd you say?
Said if I can get that wire unhooked fast enough, I'll hit second.
He thinks it's okay to almost hit highway speed before he hits somebody. Is the problem. He don't care if you're buddies or not. Going into Shelbina, he called me. I'm already pissed off, so stay out of my way. And I'm thinking, whatever. Well, then Greg Neal nosed into the dirt. Him still backing up until he bumps the tire at Shelbina, which is probably one of the biggest tracks around here.
It's like 260.
Yeah.
Long.
So, and I'm in between these two cars, and I'm sitting there, car dies. I'm trying to get it, put it neutral, whatever. And I look over, and I'm thinking, and I still tell him this, if he would have hit me that hard, I would have went straight back to the truck, grabbed the gun. It would have been done for him. So, he doesn't care, buddy or not. Whenever he says that he's in full sin mode, that's exactly what he's going to do. I done figured that out. And then we were talking that same derby. It's me, him, and Greg Neal left.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg, he had broken tie rods or whatever. And I back up to the wall, and Cody's pointed right at me. And I'm thinking, whatever, like I'm going to loop around, hit Greg, whatever. No. Here he comes hitting me right in the wheel, breaks one of my axles. As soon as I saw his back wheel was loose, as soon as I saw that thing wobbling out, I'm thinking, if I beat that back wheel off that car, he will not be able to move and hit anybody that hard ever again.
You just think, y'all are like teammates. You know, so just think of the person that he doesn't like.
We've had a couple of those this year.
Couple?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you went to Boone County, but that was a rough one.
Well, of course I went to Boone County. I was kind of announcing the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one did get a little rough, but it was a good show.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, you know. And just like Paris in August, Camden Uplinger, I ain't seen Camden in a couple of years. You know, and he comes out of retirement. I don't know if it was a retirement, and then you hit him from like 180 foot in the firewall. And I mean, I felt that shot. I heard that shot. So it's kind of like a welcome back kiss.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Well, see, that was never my plan either, because I thought he was already done for. I thought, whatever, he'll just time out. But that was the show that I was there running for, the kid in Brookfield, my little brother's buddy. And I remember looping around the stands where my parents were, and then right underneath your booth, my little brother's down there.
Yep.
And he's just telling me to try and junk his own car. He's saying, just junk it. I'm like, whatever. So I just hold it to the floor, which I didn't hit him in the door.
You didn't.
That was a big thing on Facebook. I did not hit him in the door. And I don't know how, but it's like as soon as I hit him, his car fired right back up and he's chasing me. And that was the same show his dad ran. That was the first one. And I watched the video and I still do not understand. So I hit him. and then he chases me. And then not 20 seconds after he's chasing me, Cody's dad has the guy put right back in the same spot where I just hit him.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looping around, and there's my brother telling me go again. I'm thinking, here we go. We're going to do it again, I guess.
Yep, it's go time. Like I said, it's just one of them little welcome back.
Yeah.
You know, welcome.
He was, I mean, a lot of people, like, being it was close to a door shot or whatever, he was actually really cool about everything. He just
That's the thing about Camden.
Yeah.
He doesn't get, I mean, if you would have smoked him dead square in his door, yeah, he would have said something.
Yeah.
But we all kind of know the social media heroes or keyboard warriors or the people who are at the facility, they're seeing the right edge of that bumper or where it hit, but they're not paying attention where that 7-inch point went first. And that's the point of impact.
Yeah.
You can hit Cody in the driver's side wheel, and the right corner of your bumper is over his door seam.
Yep.
Period.
But the
But
way
they
I
don't
see it,
see that.
yeah.
He wouldn't want to do that.
The way I see it, though, is if you're out there to compete, or if you're building a car in general, especially with this sport, safety is a lot of it. So if you build a good cage, I mean, door shots, they suck. I mean, it is what it is, but they're going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But if you build a good cage, it shouldn't...
You shouldn't even worry about it.
Yeah.
None. Zero. I don't give a shit. Somebody hits me in the door.
Oh, yeah, I'm for sure going to be mad, especially if it's intentional.
Correct. But it's here's the deal. We have spoke so many times. In your opinion, and usually this on the big car side, where's the dumbest place you can hit somebody?
In the door.
Passenger side door.
Yeah, in the cage.
Probably the hardest part of a car. Here, I'm going to hit somebody running 40 mile an hour right in the passenger side door. You guys have passengers in your cars a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, it is on our end saying, well, that's open. That's open. That's them getting in there. That's them taking a chance. But it just kills me. You're like, oh, yeah, here comes a big shot. And just smoke them right in the door.
Yeah.
And watch their shit go, boop. I was like, you just snoozed your own car.
But sometimes it's fun to do that. If you don't like the guy and you want to see his neck stretch a little bit.
Jesus
See,
Christ.
that's like a normal derby thing, really, though. It's like me, I don't like going nose to nose with anybody because, not that I don't like it, because I'll definitely do it, but it's like you spend all your time building the front of your car to make it hard. So why would I hit somebody in what could be the hardest part of their, minus their cage, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I hit somebody in the hardest part of their car, but as soon as I get mad, it's like, I'm ready.
Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the same way, I mean, like he's saying, if you and a guy or girl, there's girls at derbies, if you are not getting along with that person and you hit them in the cage, they're going to feel it. You're not intentionally trying to hurt them necessarily, but there's certain spots, and every derby guy knows that. You hit him in a certain spot, they're going to feel it. Like him. He hates.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Light him up in the back. He hates it. But you better hope you break something or stall his car out, because if not, he's going to turn around and he's not going to be happy.
And it's a big difference, if, like, Tyler's chasing you. Hitting the ass when you're both moving, usually that's just kind of, hey, boost. Yeah. But when you're just sitting there parked and somebody crams it right in your ass, the way that Greg Neal, I don't know where it stopped. I don't know where your bumper stopped in that car.
In his cage. We just looked at it earlier today, actually. We was out there, and we took a look at that car. I didn't think I went that far up into it, but I kind of hit it at an angle, and my point, it went right up into, actually, I think his halo bar, wasn't it?
Yeah. He basically just separated the trunk. It's almost like he took the trunk and the rear quarters and everything and just lifted it in half. The deck of the trunk and everything, the rear frame rails are still there, and then everything else is
just went right at the speaker deck and just went straight into it. Yeah. That's one of them, where the guy's on the wall. Nothing, there's nowhere else for that energy to go. It's going to go somewhere. It, I think, went in John's legs and Greg's back and neck and all sorts of shit. But we were talking. We have noticed a lot of new promotion companies. We did talk. You guys have run J&B. You've run some Lucky Sevens. I mean, You guys did Lucky Sevens after Shelbina.
Yep.
We ran you all first. The track was complete. Fucking garbage.
Water leak somewhere.
You guys loaded up, hauled ass to Eldon.
Yep.
I'm sure called Josh or Jacob or somebody and said, hey, we're on the way. There was cars pulling onto the track when you guys got there. You said they hauled ass over, checked your cars real quick, and sent you out.
Yep.
Yep.
I was basically on the phone with them before we left. Basically told them, because that was the Shelbina show that started early. Started at like 4. And basically told them, this is where we're at. We can make it there by this time. And he basically said, you have until that time. And as we were pulling in, they were waiting to check our cars, and the rest of the compact cars were already sitting on the track waiting for us.
It's not normal to sit there and announce in a show and watch cars leave. You know, not our stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because usually there's a beer garden, people are going to drink beer and hang out, and I look up and see a Tahoe leaving. Where the hell's he going? I see your truck leaving. Where the hell are they going? I looked over, and Reno was standing right below me on the dirt, and looked over and said, hey, what's up with that? He said, I bet you they're going to Eldon. I said, no way they're going to try to make it to Eldon. That's like 2 hours. He's like, wouldn't put it past him. And then I get a Snapchat. Tyler wins Eldon.
Yeah.
It's like, you crazy bastards.
It was,
we was hoping we'd get there. They'd be able to take our cars. We'd be able to fix a few things that happened to us at Shelbina. So that didn't happen. We got there, and they were trying to take my car, and I was trying to stay in their way, fixing my transmission line because it had blew in Shelbina. So I ended up looping it right at the transmission. But I'm doing that as they're taking my car. And I still got a flat tire on it, and that didn't get changed. Skid steer jerked my car off. I drove it on the track. We ran. There was nothing. We both had problems we needed to fix on our cars. If we had 10, 15 minutes, but we didn't have that.
No, it sounded like you had like 10 or 15 seconds.
Correct.
You've run our stuff, you run Lucky 7 stuff, you run J&B promotion stuff. Ran Artie Clark stuff over at Green Valley. That's where you had your thumbnail delete kit.
yeah.
And then the JS promotion, that took over Huntsville. They had their show last night. It has been announced on Facebook that Solo Boys promotion is starting next year.
Yep.
We've said on this, we've said everywhere, promotion companies are coming out of the woodwork. A couple of new ones this year was the Goatee Promotions. Slater, you guys didn't get to go to that.
No.
Y'all were in Madison. You were in Madison that night.
Yeah, we both were there.
Yeah, you were in Madison that night. And then Austin started his deal branching off from Domination. And now we're, Solo Boys promotion. I know they are usually red and black and your all's colors, whether it's black and pink or black and purple or
Black and
white. Y'all seem to get it on from jump. They are a little perturbed at us from some stuff that I'm going to try to put this as nicely as possible. They came to Columbia looking into a lot of gray area.
Mm-hmm. They
didn't really throw a fit. They said, what do we got to do to make this? This is our hometown stuff. What can we do? So Don and Big D told them, this is what you got to do. So they went and did it, and y'all got it on from jump.
Oh yeah.
I mean from jump, but that's pretty normal for you guys. It's kind of like Brady Smith has always talked about. Him and Josh Gordon have always got it on. That's just once it happens, then it kind of always happens. So that's a different promotion company that's going to be joining the forces of promoters next year. What do you guys think about that with somebody, kind of your main competition around here branching off in the business aspect of it?
I don't know about him, but I mean, I'll try it. I mean, that depends on if they like the way I build my cars or whatnot. And I mean, I'm down to go and take some of their money. I mean, it all just depends on, I guess, how the first one goes. If it's smooth and fair, I'll say, because that's
That's what I could see there being an issue with right there. Fair.
The fair.
Yeah.
The fair part.
I mean, I'm not. I ain't gonna say that it will happen. I'm just saying that that's what I could see happening. No, I will go and try, see how it goes, works out and everything. But it's kind of hard for a group of guys that's ran together for the last however many years derbying to a couple of them now branching off in the business side of it, and still going to have their other guys that they've been derbying with continue to bring cars to their shows now, and that's where I could see it going unfair. I'm not going to say that it will, but I mean, I would go try it, but that's what I think that would happen.
That's why we have the rules that we have.
I was going to bring that up.
If you work for us, you don't run, period.
Yeah.
Even my son.
Yeah, I was about to...
Everybody's like, well, why can't Bub run your stuff? We're not going to open that can of worms.
Yeah.
Because it always comes back to, well, is it cheated? You know, what? I'm not saying he's going to win it, but if he goes out and he would happen to win it, then there's always that, did he get the same tech as you got? Did he get the same tech as he got? Did he get the same... You know, so we just figured it's just a lot easier that way if we just shoot that shit. You know, there's enough promotion companies that he can go run somewhere else, but that's just us.
Yeah.
They might not have that same rule. I mean, Artie Clark, I'm not sure if he's got that same rule. I'm not sure if Go-To Promotions has that same rule. We just try to do away with that so it's not something that we've got to deal with in the future. You know, I just wanted to ask you that because, like I said, anytime it's a competition with guys on the track and somebody breaks off onto a business side, you know, I don't know if there's any personal shit, you know, that goes along with the competition side. But
one thing about it is, with them going to the business side, obviously now they're gonna be the ones teching our cars, which we have no issue with that. It's I mean, our cars are built to the rules most of the time. We never show up underbuilt, so
no.
But if they get out of the business aspect, or say we go to a different promoter, well,
and
now
see exactly what you just did to keep it in the rules, and they can imply that into their build.
Correct.
Is that what you were
Yeah.
getting to?
So now they're going to take what they already had gathered over the years, what they know how to do on their cars. Maybe they see something different that we do on ours that would help theirs. Well, then they come over to, like, you know, say your all shows, and they bring their cars. Well, we all know they roll in deep, and maybe we got, you know, a little bit more figured out than they do. I don't know. But they look at our cars at their show, if we take them and, you know, run them, then they're getting more ideas for their own.
Correct.
Which that side doesn't really... I mean, that doesn't bother me either. I mean, I see exactly where it's coming from, because it's that's just how the derby world works. Once you figure something out, you're not just going to post it on Facebook and be like, hey, I did this and this worked.
Yeah.
So it's not... Everything's kind of a big secret. That doesn't really bother me that much, because I like to rely on my driving style a lot, which, I mean, back to, we both can get crazy. Everybody can get crazy at some point. So that part doesn't really bother me. But I'm interested to see how, kind of, because like Steven or like most of these people that put on derbies, they're not really compact guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be,
except for the Lucky 7 guys.
in a way, I think their shows are leaned more towards their figure eight, which I don't blame them. When 100 figure eight cars pull in, that's where your show is going to be at.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes and no. Maybe, I mean, if everything is fair and goes smooth or whatever, I think it'd be kind of interesting to see how someone or people that are compact people put on a show.
There's just not that many of them around here.
No, that is how Lucky 7 started out. They were 100% compact guys.
Correct. I mean, dude, it's still viral as shit. He deleted that dude from his driver's seat at Blizzard Bash. And I'm talking deleted him out of his seat.
Yeah.
You know, so it looks like I've still never seen one of these figure eight derbies. I haven't. I should have, but when you're as busy as we are,
the other night I went. It was the first time I've ever been to anything.
Now they're like how he explained it, they're full blown like a mod compact that goes in circles or
In an
an
eight. Yeah.
They actually get more than a mod compact car gets.
They're
as
like
far
full
as plates.
cradles and shit.
They can put cradles in their figure eight cars. Yes, I think it's got to be. Don't quote me. I think it's got to be certain wheelbase or something for you to be able to do it. Like I think the Cavaliers can, but if you run a Lumina or something, you can't. I think something like that, and you also get more plate on a Cavalier to like a Lumina. Because I was gonna try to take my mod compact to the New Bloomfield figure eight it. And he said I maybe had a little too much plate on there for what they allow on Luminas, and then my bumper, I'd had to cut it off.
So no pointies.
I think you are allowed a point, but not like what
Not a replica.
Not
like
a replica.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're actually pretty cool though. I would try it for sure.
Yeah, dude, but I think you try anything.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well,
I kind of say the only thing I won't try is meth and being gay. Because you can't just try usually one or the other. You guys are going to Bash. You're going with, some other guys from around here. I think that's going to be an awesome experience for you guys. I know you've been to watch.
Yeah.
Have you got to go? Have you been to watch?
Last year I went and helped Derek a little bit on his car. Kind of got the pit experience of it. Because we were actually supposed to go last year also. And then basically what it boils down to is Brady was on Team A, right? Which is Derek and them's team. He got drawed for the team selection. And he was going to take the team. He had already asked us or whatever. And basically it was too late. It was too late for Brady to back out on them, because then they'd have to find somebody to build a car and whatnot, which you can't be mad at him for sticking to his word.
Correct.
So we didn't end up going last year, but we went and watched. It was my first time watching. Really, up before that, I never really even heard of it, Blizzard Bash, until I started hanging around them and Reno and them.
That's not normal.
No.
That's really not. Now, when you are pitting for like the national team side, I don't know if the rules are the same, but after you got through tech, it went into an impound building. After you run your heat, it goes back to that impound building under lock and key. They sound a horn at 9 a.m. That's when you can go get your car and work on your car, and they sound a horn again at 3 p.m. And that's when I had to be back in the building under lock and key. Do you guys have that same kind of regulation, or can you guys just stay up all night and work on your shit?
Unless they've changed since last year, we'll be able to keep ours, all night long and work on it until the following morning.
Basically, you have but I don't think they do it where, basically, if you're the first heat to run and whether you make it or not, I don't think they let you just instantly go. I don't know that, because I kind of just stayed and watched every heat to see how everything would kind of pan out. But other than that, I don't know how that side of it works. I don't know if they wait till every heat is done and over with so every team has the same amount of time.
Correct.
But, yeah, we stayed...
there's a possibility you can have a 2-hour head start on another team.
Right. See, I don't think they allow that. I think that you wait till all the compact heats are over with, and then you can start working on your cars. I think, but I don't know
do remember staying out there until 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I think it was
on cars.
See, if y'all go to big car stuff, that's when you can go and enjoy like baby dolls and shit like that, where you don't have to stay up all night.
All those big car
Which
guys
all them guys stay up all
anyways.
night anyways.
Painting each other's fingernails.
We'll go find them guys this year and make them come help us.
Yeah,
we might need a little help.
Well, we decided we was just gonna make a phone call. I did tell y'all at the beginning that Steven wasn't able to be here, but he is on the phone, so we're gonna let him talk with the fellas here. And hold on, in appreciation of him. That's right. What's up, Peckerhead?
Oh, just figured this was the best episode to skip out on, because I think you all have half the Compact Queers team in the studio, right?
We do.
Isn't that what they're going to Blizzard Bash as? Something like that?
Yeah, going to Blizzard Bash.
I heard that you all are running Solo Boy promotions next year.
Hopefully. Depends on if we can get in or not. Depends on how many plates we're allowed, I guess.
I got you. Well, we allow whatever. I mean, just ask Reno. He's terrible tag.
Yeah.
He's been letting my car in all year, so.
He makes you cut something on your car every time, though.
Yeah, but I told him next time I'm bringing a metal bar. I ain't cutting shit.
Well, I don't. There can't be anything left of that car.
What? On the asset? No, there's not.
There's absolutely nothing left of that car.
Well, you asked him if he was going to cut it apart.
Well, there to cut apart.
Tyler said he should have cut it apart a long time ago.
Well, if you're still cashing checks with something, you can.
Exactly.
And I think that's how he looks at it.
Here lately, it's been cashing more checks than it did when it was fresh. So
The only problem is every dollar amount that he earned with that car, he's going to use in gas cutting it apart. That's the only problem. He's basically going to have to cut it into a million pieces to get his cage out of it.
So does that need to be one of them throwaway cages?
no.
He refuses.
What have I missed out on in this episode so far? Y'all give me a little recap so I can make fun of y'all.
Basically,
We talked about their summer, supporting us for a lot of it and every other promoter around.
Well, there for a while, it looked like they were going to a show every other night.
We hit that.
we even hit 2 in one night.
I remember that. You left my show and hauled ass.
And cashed a check.
We were probably 2 mile an hour away from a manslaughter charge at one point.
For sure.
But I heard you made it, and it sounded like it was all in. It wasn't done for nothing.
We both cash checked that night.
Cody went down
third,
there.
didn't you? Did you get third in Mad Dog?
Fourth in Mad Dog.
Fourth on Mad Dog.
Cody went down there and basically cleaned house like he usually does, and I just drove around and won the big money.
Was that before you put the concrete in your doors? Or after?
Yeah, that was before.
That was before concrete doors?
Yeah, once I figured that out, it was just downhill. Yeah.
Well, from what I've heard, the next car he builds isn't going to have metal on it at all.
No.
It's just going to be made out of concrete.
Yep. We're actually working on some forms right now to make a concrete cage. And
Well, you know what? I think we'll let them in next year, but you can only use half-inch rebar.
okay.
I mean, they
And
also...
uncoated tie wire.
What if I only run your shows? Are you going to allow me a little bit more?
Well, I'll allow you a 4-bag mix at that point.
Okay.
But no smooth finish on that shit. So you got room.
No flat trowel.
Can it be stamped?
No.
Oh.
No, broom finish only.
Okay.
That way, at least if you slide down that son of a bitch, you've got rug burn all over.
Perfect.
We have you on now, so we talked about Blizzard Bash. They have a plan of going to full send that bitch right in the heat. We were seeing if they were going to try to go to Peoria, but Peoria doesn't have like a welded compact class. They have the front wheel drive hobos.
Right, they're smart.
Well, while I've got you on here, because sometimes there's rule changes that I haven't been informed of, but they actually brought it up to me before we went on air to maybe seeing, because we have talked that the gut and goes we're going to separate for next year, the sedans versus the vans and the mini trucks and stuff. They were talking maybe since Lucky Sevens has that rule and Domination has that rule, their gut and goes
And
for
J&B.
their and J&B as well. You can run harnesses, you can run
Harness.
header, you can run
Well, we've
shifters.
been letting them run harnesses forever.
Yeah, but where you can carburate it and shit if you don't want to run EFI.
I'm okay with that, and we've talked about some of that stuff, and I will make a final decision on that this winter. Like I said, us cutting our shows back, I'll kind of be able to jump in on that shit a little harder. But with us trying to run 7 shows in a year, 7 or 8 shows, whatever, and trying to keep our rules competitive where we had that 50, 60, 70 car shows, man, we had to stick with what the people wanted.
Correct.
And that's what everybody was talking about. Next year, moving forward, we're going to do sedans only. We might be able to let them have a little bit more. But I don't want it to get into that money-grabbing bullshit.
Correct.
Because this is not that class. I mean, we've all talked about it. This is not a builder's class.
No. But just like
if you want to build a car, do what you boys are doing.
Yeah. But, we were
and that's what I've told all these kids. They're like, well, I'm going to buy this carburetor set up. I'm like, then you need to go find you one of those guys that builds well compacts, start being friends with him, get one of his leftovers, and start there.
Yeah, but if you're like...
it when you're done with it.
But
Because
if they're buddies of these two dudes, they don't have shit left after they get done running them.
Well, they just have to talk to them a little harder and get them before they're jumped out. But, I mean, you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I mean, because you start with the header. How much is a header for one of them? I don't know if your all's are about the same price as ours, but I know that set of Elliott headers that I've got for my motor originally are $400-some. I don't know if they run like that for a compact, but
they do.
Right there, that 16-year-old kid or 14-year-old kid that bought a Grand Am or Grand Prix, whatever, that's going to discourage you. Well, all these other guys, they've got headers and carburetors and shit. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
We're not trying to cut them out of it. That's who we're in the sport.
Yeah. Which I see that side of it. My thing is like, so the way they do it is it's more of a front-wheel drive hobo style, which, and I agree, I think a gut and go should be a gut and go, not a, because that's how, and I think that's what, like the way he explained it is the way it is right now. You got people that will push the rules or people that can afford.
Well, you've got people building to the top side of all the rules. They all do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you're trying to separate that builder class, from just your kid that don't know nothing class. And that's what you're talking about right now. I mean, I would like to keep the gut and go. We've already went too far with the bumper rule, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that factory reinforcement bar on there.
Yes.
That slows them down a little bit, unless you're my kid and you don't give a shit.
Yeah. That's no problem.
Right.
Tyler can vouch for that.
Which I think next year, making it all sedans and getting rid of the vans, I think that it may give these kids a little bit more opportunity to do some of that building. Because what all can I mean, I guess you could start plating a van up and shit. I mean, they're just like anything else. But they're going to start figuring out where these sedans and shit are going to start bending and all that. And if they want to keep running in that compact style, that'll give them that opportunity to learn a little bit before they jump up to a mod or well compact.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts behind the whole deal.
I mean, everything starts out as a beginner's class. It just usually doesn't end up there.
Was, 1 point.
Yeah, it just doesn't end up there.
My thing on it was just like I said, and we talked about it before we started all this. You got people that run EFI, like, in the compact world, and there's even people, the way I take it, in the big car world that went away from carburetor and everything. Mm-hmm. And they all say that EFI is going to outperform a carburetor any day. Well, what's the difference?
Well, and it will in mud, rock crawling, anything, really.
So, and that's what I'm getting at. So, you're allowing the tune computers and tune harnesses and stuff on these gut and go cars. What is that? In theory, those tune computers are just going to outperform a carburetor or a stock car, which is like what most people are running in the gut and go. So basically what that boils down to is if you have access or can afford or whatever, a tune computer and put it on a gut and go car,
why can't the other dude afford a carburetor and put it on that same car?
So because
carburetors are scary.
Yes, I see that. I do.
But the EFI is supposed to outrun them, so what are they scared of?
Yeah. Well, I think he's talking about
safety. You think a 16-year-old kid, he don't understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's talking more on the safety aspect of it. You get a dumbass kid that puts carburetor on one of these things and he doesn't use the correct fuel line. the correct shit, and next thing you know, he's a little flame ball.
Well, the carburetors honestly are less dangerous than EFI. EFI, you're pushing 60 to 80 to 100 psi
pressure.
Yeah, and with our carburetors, we're pushing 4 to 7, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, my big deal, and like I said, it's nothing really. I mean, it really honestly isn't. But you get to seeing carburetors and headers on these W bodies in the gut and go class, and before you know it, you've got everybody in the crowd bitching. Well, that's a well compact, blah 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 blah, and that's exactly where all that goes.
We don't even need headers. That'd be cool with just a carburetor.
Because there's nothing more that I like watching in the compact class than somebody getting a carburetor wiped completely off the front of the motor.
Well, if you
I enjoy it.
If you allowed cradles, that wouldn't happen.
No, I don't even start that.
No, I'm kidding.
No,
which I guess if I keep having 4-car World Compact show up, I might as well let them do it. Then I guess you all could have one. You all could just come and run against each other every week.
I mean,
they didn't say no.
Tyler doesn't want that.
You have missed it. They have been talking shit on each other for a little bit.
He just.
I figured that was coming. You should have seen the Snapchats I got before they showed up.
Yeah, it basically consists of if Cody didn't come, I was knocking him out, and he's coming anyways.
And then we'd have showed up and Tyler had been in a fucking bag.
Well, you were talking about Peoria just a little bit ago. Daddy here got a spot.
Yeah, and I can't see how you did because I was sitting at the house chilling by myself last night. The kids were gone, and the wife was gone for a little bit. And you sent me that text, and I was like, yeah, I'll try to get you a spot just in case. And so I turned all my lights on, and I'm sitting there with my card, and I refreshed, and it was like 1 minute. I was like, all right, cool. Refreshed. It said few seconds. I refreshed again, few seconds. I refreshed again, few seconds. I refreshed again, and the screen was there, but I couldn't do anything with the screen. So I refreshed again. And then when the new screen came up, then there was like numerical options on the right-hand side for everything but stock cars.
Well, I was just trying not to be a complete dick. But at one point, we had 4 of them shits locked down because I had so many people on phones. And everybody's like, what do you want me to do? And the whole time in the back of my head, I'm like, fucking buy it. Buy it.
Buy for it.
This is for the last 4 years that you got screwed out of not getting into big shows. Like all of them.
Why didn't you just get a compact spot?
What am I going to do with that?
Sell it?
Go down there and win the big money?
Well, I could have went down there and with a compact spot, but that would have just gave me, because it wouldn't have been a car in that class, it would have just gave me less time to go get a beer and something to eat during that class.
No, never fails. Never fails.
My question is, since you got that, am I gonna get to enjoy that show, or I'm gonna have to fucking work at that show?
No, hell no. We're gonna have a car done. Hopefully, well, I'm gonna catch so much shit over this. I'm going to catch all the bullshit over this. Hopefully, I have this car done, like, way before time, and all we have to do is go out there Thursday. Well, I'll go out there Thursday, get super hammered drunk while we're checking my car in, run my car whatever day. I haven't even looked. I don't know if the schedule's out yet.
It is not yet.
But run my car whatever night I'm supposed to. Go ahead and lose like I will. And then I figure we will use the rest of the time that we are there to stay drunk and go to strip clubs and whatnot.
So that sounded really, really, really familiar, what he just said there. So back after we ran Boone County,
July
was supposed to be our last show.
You told me that. It was our last show because you're going to start on Blizzard Bash.
Yeah, kept going. We kept saying it. We're done. Blizzard Bash. We're done. Blizzard Bash.
Hey, guess what? Their shit still ain't even close to being done.
We have about a year's worth of work to do in like a month.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So, that was, sounded really familiar. You'll probably wait until like the week before.
Here, I'm going to say
What
this
was that?
right now. We're going straight Clayton. The fuck if. You better have that son of a bitch way done before the beginning of March.
Is there a wait list on that?
So, are you all? Do you all have a set plan for that for Blizzard Bash? Like you're just gonna go out there and jump shit first heat?
Hopefully.
I'm just gonna drive around and look for another bumper.
Hey, I'm gonna jump off here. You all do some mouthing for about 15, 20 more minutes. I got a surprise for you.
All right, then.
All right.
All right, later, bye. We just did a little phone that's a little bit different than normal. He's got some shit going on that needed to get taken care of today before he leaves for work tomorrow. So he didn't say no on the hobo style, but in the position that we are in, you try to make it where other promoters, normal drivers, can come to our shit, and vice versa. That is kind of why the rules are what they are. But if we have more of those promoters going to that kind of same rule, then we might have to do some adjusting on our side a little bit, or maybe add a class and drop a class.
As long as it's not a compact class, we'll be okay. Wait, you guys run street stock and stock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll just throw the stock class in the trash. That'd be a perfect
We
time.
can't. There's too many stock cars.
No, but
But I think what he's trying to get at is keep your gut and go for your guys that don't have the money or the know-how or whatnot to do anything else, or the big welders to do the guys that would be scared to bump up with a small bumper bracket and one plate or something. And then also do like a hobo class to where you can run your carburetor or your tune harness still only like a 6 or 8 inch bumper bracket, 2 to 4 plates.
Now, we did talk that we are separating, the vans and the cars. So,
no seam welds.
yeah,
but that's something that we could kick around. The vans be gut and go rules. The sedans, the front wheel drive hobo rules, where you can, unless you're looking for a van, which you struggled to find one because we talked,
yeah.
back earlier in the summer. You were wanting to throw one together. You can get a couple shows out of it and be done. But that could be something we could talk about, where we keep the vans as gut and goes, where these kids can get in a van a little bit more protected than, in my opinion, than in a car.
Yeah.
And then maybe the sedans, bump them up to a little bit to that front wheel drive hobo, like Austin has, like J&B, like Lucky Sevens has, and you can still kind of do both and still keep them separated a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, with a build like that, you can still build a car in, a week or whatever.
So
no seam weld, nothing. Just keep it simple, but maybe you get more than one run out of it. So you're not spending $500-$600 on this car. Go run it once. Well, it's junk. Now you're just
see, and
starting
that's
over.
where the piling up in Paris, where you had the 3K to win gut and go or whatever it was, the pre-entry or whatever.
Mhm.
So I was talking to like Dylan Patrick and all them, which he showed up. Austin Spada, like I asked him if he was going, because that was my original plan, was to run that class instead of the compact class, because at that point we were dead set on being done with the compact cars. But like we talked about, at Bash you want to keep your seat time or whatever. So that's where I was at on it. If I can get a van or something and just run every once in a while just so I can stay in the seat before Blizzard Bash.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically said that he can't really build a car to that caliber, because anymore you go and buy a $500 car in a gut and go with you not being able to do anything to it really. You have the chance of going out there and destroying your car in one run, and then you're now looking for another $500 car.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of made me start thinking about it. And then one day I just made the Facebook post like, if these guys are allowed this, then why are other people not allowed this? Or why can't you do this? But I also see where like the promoter or a tech or someone comes in with that, where you can allow that because, you know, it's your show, your rules or whatever, but then you can't really put on the show if the fans and these people don't show up.
Yeah, I mean, we've said that for years. We might get a 100-car show, but if we only got 1,500 seats, asses in the seats.
Yeah.
That's not very good. I'd rather have a 100-car show with 3,000 people.
Asses
in seats.
That's another thing that just had me thinking. I personally think, and I know we joke about it, like Steven and I, he's a big car guy. Obviously, I'm a compact guy, so and he's saying no one really like cares about the compacts or whatever. But I think that people come to derbies to watch the gut and goes, or because they always have 30 cars because it's your cheaper route.
You've heard me say it, dude. It's like a Roach Motel when you turn the lights on, man. You throw, I say 3, 2, 1, go, and them fuckers are everywhere right now.
But my thing is if you allowed a little bit more or whatever, then I feel like you have more of those consistent guys.
Oh yeah,
kind of like us. I mean, we haven't missed a single show yet.
Yeah.
So if you're allowing them to do more so that their cars can hold up longer, then you'll have more regular people. But right now, that isn't really a problem, getting cars for the gut and go class. But
there was only like 6 of them in Huntsville last night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not normal.
Yeah.
There was also 30 of them in Versailles. We had 28 of them in August. We're liable to have 50 of them bastards in 2 weeks. Yeah. I mean, that's...
See, and with Steven, not just Steven, you guys are all a part of it. The way you guys... Safety guy. The way you guys do... And I like that you guys do it, but like the gut and go where you do 3,000 to win, or at one point he was going to do the Royal Rumble style stuff like that. I think I like it, but I think you would have had more cars in that gut and go class if they were allowed to do a little bit more, because then that brings, you know what I mean. So like Domination, they have all these shows in Illinois. Then you get all of those guys that are building.
All those cars, yeah.
Yeah. That was my take on it. But I also see promoting side of it.
We haven't hardly saw any Lucky 7 cars yet this year. I mean, we've seen a few.
Yeah.
I mean, would come up to Columbia. They didn't have a show that day. So it's that Steven always says you got to keep your finger on the pulse. So that might be something where we have to reevaluate on that section. If we're going to split them, let's split them to do this. Give them a little bit, keep the sedans away from the vans. You're still not running into that issue. And then you have your vans just go out and annihilate each other and to the rules that we already have.
Yeah.
So you guys are in full Blizzard Bash mode. Did you get a hotel?
Yeah. Technically, we didn't.
Oh, shit.
Our girlfriends kind of did. Because they were looking, I mean, obviously they were thinking about it harder than we were. We want to go up as early as we can, basically. Get a good spot, make sure we're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
We basically don't want to be running around last second kind of thing. So our plan was to go up as early as we can, do that part. Well, then we were thinking, like, okay, if we were to go up on Monday night or Tuesday night, whatever it is, our hotel isn't booked until, like, Wednesday night. So if we went up Monday night, that leaves us nowhere to sleep or shower until Wednesday night. So, but I think we got it figured out.
I have, we were just talking about how tech worked, and I've told Steven too, I've never got to take all of Blizzard Bash in because I've always had to work. I've always had to work on the shit. I didn't want to feel like eating mashed up cans of shark assholes for 3 days or 4 days like all these other guys are. By the time you get done running, get in the car back to the tech barn, go into the hotel, take a shower, crash, it's 4 a.m, knowing I never got to stay at Capitol Plaza, so I was always on the south end of Topeka Boulevard. Knowing I've got to get gone, get through traffic, get there, before that horn goes off, because I know we only got 6 hours to do it. Because most of the guys on the rest of our crew are taking in all of that because they're staying, close. So half of them are going to the whatever the strip club name is. Half of them have passed out in the hotel, knowing that I probably need to keep my brain about me because I know we've probably either got to change the transmission, pour to power it out, plate it. People just don't grasp the concept of if you end up getting the shit end of a draw to get from the first heat on the national side to the feature, you derby 4 days in a row if you lose that first night. Because if you lose on Thursday, you get to run on Friday. If you win on Friday, you get to run on Saturday. If you win on Saturday, you got to run on Sunday. By Sunday, Saturday, it was not going to hurt my feelings if we didn't make it. I'm not going to lie. I was like, well, if we don't make it, fuck it, I'll go home Sunday, whatever. And we got through it. You guys get the good part. You can take some of it in. You can experience your first time there as, drivers and builders. You've already got a plan to just send it. We're going to be watching from the comfort of my living room because you guys heard him on the phone. We are going to go to Peoria. She got our hotel booked last night. I will tell you there's not very many hotel rooms left. There's one that's actually connected to the Civic Center. You can just use like a walkway. Was there 5 rooms left of one size and like 2 or 3 of another?
They both said 5.
And then the hotel right next to it, it had 5 of each. So, everything's selling out fast.
I don't know if you know this guy, but sleep is not a problem to him. He will stay up for 3 days working on a car just to make it to a show, and I've kind of learned from that. I wouldn't be surprised if we go up Monday night and just stay up until Wednesday night.
Oh, God.
I wouldn't be surprised if we go up there Monday night and still work on the cars till Wednesday night.
Save the work until after tech. Because I'm going to tell you guys this is probably going to be the worst tech you've ever gone through. I'm being dead honest with you. Their techs from mod cars all the way down to youth, are the same. They're very hard. Shit that you thought nobody's even going to pay attention to. They go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. You're going to sit there and just look at your list and just go, shit. I've seen people with 3 pieces of full tilt paper, front and back.
At that point, I'd probably drive mine on the trailer and strap it back down.
I'm going to go buy a for sale sign.
For sale sign.
That or I'll have a good fair show car.
There you go. And
I made it.
He's here.
I was only about 15 minutes out when I was on the phone with you.
Cheaters.
Well, I thought that I had to be in Cape Girardeau tonight.
But you do not.
Nope.
You don't got to leave. And now you're drinking a Bud Light Chelada.
Oh, yeah. Lemon.
Lemon Chelada.
Chile.
Chile.
I'm going to catch some scrutiny from our Spaniard listening group.
You did not pronounce it correctly.
It doesn't even look good.
Oh, it's delicious.
I don't care if I don't drink that much. Don't knock it until you try it.
Well, I don't drink at all. So that's where
You don't drink, period.
He doesn't need to.
No, he don't. He don't. You said you were going to go completely different route once you got here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get with it.
Have we talked about the sign-up shit yet? That, like Peoria, Blizzard Bash, and all that stuff?
We have not.
Let's touch on that. We've got 2 guys that drew into the big show this year. What did you all think of that?
We actually did not get our own team.
We got asked to be on the team that we're on.
That's what I'm saying.
But I did try to get my own.
Didn't work, did it?
No. I don't even know how somebody gets a spot.
They don't. I'm telling you, if you're not lightning fast with a phone, or have a group of 6 people right there. Yesterday, whenever I was trying to get into Peoria, it happened that fast. Now, there were still street stock spots available.
Yeah.
With 120 entry, you're going to have that. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a more fair way.
Yes.
Because you take somebody that lives in the middle of the woods, like myself. I just happened to be at the junction whenever we was doing all that shit and had amazing service. Like, I felt like I was laying under a cell phone tower.
Yeah.
All of our phones had awesome service. I had Cy and Derek trying to get me a spot. Neither one of them come up with anything. My wife, myself, my mother, and my dad were all sitting at the table just refreshing the shit out of these phones. And all of us come up with spots. And I was like, you know, there's got to be a better way. I don't know whether everybody needs to be thrown in a hat, on, maybe a week deal. There's a week sign-up period.
Or even an entire 24-hour period.
Yeah, or something like that. And now, the bullshit you're going to catch on the other end of that is, well, if they get drawn, what if I can't get a hold of them right then? They're not going to pay. Because we run into a little bit of that bullshit at Mother's Day Madness.
Yeah.
Pay whenever you do, and you get your money back if you don't get drawn.
Well, we thought about that too, but if you do that for the Blizzard Bash, there'd be $1.7 million laying around somewhere in somebody's PayPal.
Send it to mine.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Because I would say that is going to end up the next issue with that. And I get it from all angles, because we've used Eventbrite ourselves. What do we use that for?
Mother's Day.
No. Mm-mm.
No,
Halloween Havoc on the Gut and Go side.
Yep, that's right.
And it worked great until it doesn't. Whenever you've got, half the country that derbies trying to get into one show. So I thought we'd touch on that a little bit. Because
like I told you last night, roughly, which I hit off of it earlier, instantly when you text me, I had 4 minutes. Waited, refreshed, I had 3 minutes. Waited, refreshed, I had 1.
And then it said a few seconds.
And it said a few seconds. And I kept refreshing it every just a few seconds. And I refreshed it, and it was just the screen of the classes, and it would not let me do anything. I refreshed it again, there was numbers, and the stock class was already gone.
Well, I'm telling you, my fingers were smoking putting that debit card number in that bitch.
Like I said, I had my card out on my lap. I was ready for it, and then...
Because honestly, I was hoping everybody was like, I got you a spot. And I was going to be like, guess who's got all the spots?
So is that...
Daddy just got a better chance at 2 Gs.
So the way I take it is, if you got on there, you can select more than one spot?
2. You could pick
You could do
2.
Oh, up to 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now in the street stock, I think you could buy 10 spots.
Well, I know one group that got 3.
Well,
Right.
See, we were talking to someone that got a compact spot, and they said that they had the option up to 10 spots. But there's only, a 24-car limit or something like that? So, how does that work if one person buys 10 spots?
I guess you're taking 10 buddies with you.
Yeah.
Or you take yourself, and then somebody else is to buy 10 spots, and it just turns into a one-on-one kind of thing.
Right. But if you
you're
look
gonna
at
go
it
up
from
there by
that
yourself?
aspect, I mean, you're talking loads of cash that you're going to have to spend. Just the 10 spots for the street stock would have been 3 Gs.
Yeah. Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
And 90% of the time, if you were to go in there and somehow buy 10 stock spots, you could have had them sold today for probably double.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's still, how many of those are left?
They're all sold out.
Except for the street stock.
Except for the street stock.
You want to build a street stock car?
Want to? I mean,
Don't know where to start other than knock the windows out of the car, but...
Well, I mean, there was a dude on Facebook yesterday offering a G-Bird for a stock spot.
Oh, my.
I was like, hey, I got second if I sell him my spot.
Yeah. He's either that confident in his driving, or he just knows he's going to go there and
Well,
cheat.
if it's like a Bob Whitaker or Chad Markey,
No, I'm not going to tell you who it was.
or somebody like that.
Because I haven't completely crossed out the thought of selling my spot. Cash is king, as Dave Ramsey would say.
Super stock for 5 features at $300 a spot. It will not show me how many's left, but there's still at least 10 available. But everything else is sold out.
so do you want to build a street stock car?
Oh shit!
I'd consider it, really.
I mean, I will
Do they
too.
allow passengers up there?
I don't think so.
Oh. Looks like you'll be watching.
No, we're both going to get a spot. And go around.
Oh.
Oh.
We're going to build 2
Oh.
cars.
Well, we can't even build a Blizzard Bash car on time, so I don't know.
Yeah, but you got a little bit more time on this one. and
They
it's all
say these
winter.
big cars are easier.
I've noticed it firsthand, really.
From what you guys are used to building, I'm gonna guess they're probably man hours are about the same for a street stock to
Really.
a welded compact.
Well, I touched on it when I was on the phone there for a minute. Depends on if you want to build to the top end of the rules.
Or the ball end.
See, but I
We're
think,
gonna go and cut.
Oh yeah,
We're not going under build.
We're going
Well-
fully expect to get loaded, kind of.
Yeah.
Fuck, you can throw kickers in anything and have to cut.
No, we ain't gonna put kickers on it.
We don't deal with none of that concrete bullshit over this full-size spot.
I'm not going to. No. I think what gets the compact guys what takes so long is all the seam welding, because we're firewall forward. We're basically fully seam welded K frame seams.
That's
all
a lot
that.
of welding.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
And you can get a lot more excessive than that if you really want to. I mean,
if you want to
Yeah, but you can pull all that shit out. How do you throw it on a workbench in front of you? Right?
well,
No.
Like the K-frame and shit? You can't.
K-frame.
You lay it on
Yeah.
top of the car. And just go to town. But the frame seams, yeah. If you're a bigger guy like me, it's not good.
Right.
Or if you can't weld like him, it's,
Yeah, it's
you
not
know.
good.
I get it.
Like you're welding sheet metal to sheet metal, burning through. It makes you want to punch a hole through the car. Really.
You know, and that we've talked about that shit before, too. Those people that are like, well, I'm going to weld this fucking pointy bumper on this Grand Prix. I'm like, shit will only stick to the thickest material.
Yeah.
So if you're not allowed a bumper bracket on something like that, that's why we see all these gut and goes with bumpers laying everywhere.
Mhm.
Because they're taking 1/4 inch, 4x4 square tubing, welding it straight to that bullshit sheet metal
Yeah.
on the front of them, and expecting it to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got this loaded bumper I'm going to put on this gut and go. I'm like, why? Go ahead, I guess.
Yeah.
Factory rebar holds up pretty damn good.
Well,
Yeah,
they need to pick some bitches up because I get sick of it. Why do you think I send my wife out there?
Or my kid.
Yeah,
She
100%.
usually hauls ass around though. I'm gonna give her that.
Oh yeah, she likes it.
And we haven't figured out why she likes it, but she does. It's first one off the dirt, first one running across the track.
First one to yell.
Oh yeah.
Tyler and Cody both say I can probably vouch for that.
Yeah.
You got to live with it.
I'll second that.
But no, they've got the Blizzard Bash coming up. That's their next go around. They have roughly a month and a week.
Are you all that close?
We don't even have cages
in our cars
in our
yet.
cars.
You better get to welding. What you all doing here?
I think we'll be all right. He keeps stressing about it, but
Well, see, I'm building at his shop, so
It's
basically
a
we're together.
minute from your house.
Yes.
2 hours.
Yeah.
So basically, I work all week. Friday hits as soon as I get off work.
You live at his house.
Yes. But that's where he says, "Oh, I don't know why you're stressing about it." Well, say there's 30 days, or whenever they released the deal that said there's less than 50 days, they put the video in all of that.
That's 50 days of Monday through Sunday. That's not 50
Yes.
days of weekends only.
So we figured it out from that day they posted that. I had 12 days to work on my car because I'm not working on it throughout the week,
Mhm.
which he does do. I mean,
He does
I'm
what
gonna
he
give
can
him the
during the
credit,
week.
yeah. And that's why I'm like stressing out about it. He's like, "Well, I don't know why you're stressing out about it." I'm like, "You take 6 months worth of work and you pack it into 8 days. That equals like no eat, no sleep. Like,
And we're
it's not-
capable of that. We're fully
But it's
capable
not
of that.
I did not get this size from not eating is the problem." So
Well, unless you want to get called Big D when you're getting out of your compact car, you need to lose a little weight anyways.
Big T.
Yeah, Big T.
No, it is very, I mean, it wears on you. You know, when you sit there and you walk in the shop, you're like, oh my God, there's this and this and this and this still left, and we still have to weld this shit together, and we still got to do this, and then, oh fuck, we just run out of welding wire, or we just run out of gas. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. There's no gas available until 7. So, okay, now let's go in and grab a shower real quick, try to catch a couple hour nap, then get to the gas facility.
We got pretty good hookup on that.
The good thing about that is Jacob Woods with Lucky Sevens. I can get in my truck at 3 o'clock in the morning. He might not like it, but I can pull in his driveway. I could probably walk right in his shop, grab a bottle of gas, leave some money laying on the table, throw it in my truck, and drive out. He might think someone just stole something. He'll wake up, look at his phone, see that he got a text on it from me, whatever. It'll probably be okay. If I had to do it, I would do it. You know.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But
And you know what's crazy about that is they make these gauges that set right on top of them tanks.
How many people run out of gas in a vehicle?
Everybody.
In a vehicle.
Well, it depends on if you're my wife or not.
I'm going to push it another. I think I can get to town and back before I got to put gas in it.
I can honestly tell you that I have never run out of gas on welder. Like while I was in the middle of building something.
Can't say that. I can't.
And 90% of the time, everywhere that I build, whether it be my uncle's shop or my father-in-law's shop, there's 2, maybe 3 bottles laying around at all times. Just because of shit like that. Not necessarily the derby aspect, but one of them farms, one of them's a mechanic. They keep that shit on hand.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to get with Jacob. Like, I'm like, just let me take like 3 bottles to my shop.
Right.
Let me just have your shop.
Yeah, let me just have part of your supplies, and that way I don't got to go, show up at your house 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Which I think only at one time so far I had to go. Halfway late and exchange it, but
Street pharmacist. That's a new shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paris is like here.
2 weeks.
Are you ready?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Call me crazy if you want, but I'm not missing it.
You crazy
my
bastard.
God.
Bash car done or not, I'm not missing it.
we will be there with our compacts, concrete doors and all.
Yeah.
Team Quick.
I guarantee you they saw them fucking payouts and was like, we ain't missing that one.
I'm fascinated with the trophies. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you need to ask some of the other people that I still owe trophies from fucking 2 years ago. They're not happy about that situation. Man, if you can't get the shit, you can't. Well, if you can't get the shit, you can't get the shit.
Yes.
And I told all of them, I was like, I can get you different colored ones.
But it ain't going to be the same.
I hope. I gave the trophy lady.
Plenty.
Oh, yeah.
Notice.
Oh, yeah. I talked to her a month and a half ago.
Plenty of notice.
And I told her that I had $1,500 to $1,800 to throw at these bitches. So I want them nasty.
Like I'm talking, I expect like a 7-footer.
Maybe 6 is as big as they go.
No, the ones at Palmyra were 7.5 foot.
Oh yeah.
4 posts.
They can make them big.
Okay, who's writing the check for these?
Filthy promotion. Tanya
Like,
raised her
I'll be the
hand.
one to go
Who
get
writes
the
it?
son of
But
bitches.
who's signing it, okay? Who's signing that bad boy?
It don't matter as long as nobody drops them bitches. We'll be good anyway.
Tell her, wait till Tuesday before you deposit that son of a bitch.
She sure is quick about cashing those, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Monday morning, 8 o'clock, comes out of our account.
Remember that time they did that to us last year at Halloween Havoc? Had about 50 pissed off drivers.
Yeah,
They were like, these checks aren't any good. I was like, yeah, they are. I just put like $35,000 in that account. You need to let the bank open.
They were dropping them when they left Saturday night. They just deposited them on the way home at the night drop. So when it processed at midnight, Sunday night, Monday morning to their bank.
It looked like we didn't have shit.
Yeah.
So I ran Kirksville one year, and they did something similar to that, but they made the check out like.
They post-dated it.
Yeah. So I did that. I'm thinking, I think I got like 2nd or 3rd place. It was only like $300, but I was still in high school. So I'm thinking $300 while I'm in high school, I'm winning.
Oh, yeah.
So I go and take the check or whatever, and they're like, well, we can't cash this yet. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to cash it, or someone in Kirksville's going to get beat up. So they're like, and then I'm like standing there, and they're like, well, you just got to wait until tomorrow. And I'm like, well, that's stupid.
But you didn't pay attention to the
No,
date.
yeah, no, I was thinking I got $300.
Yeah.
We go to the bank, then we go shopping. That's not how it worked.
Well, I'm glad you decided to not go to work till tomorrow.
Right. I don't want to go to work at all. Like ever.
What happened to this? You making so much money promoting shows? What?
Oh yeah, that's where it's at. I was about to retirement, and then somebody told me I didn't have any balls. Right there was the downfall.
Well, now he's got competition. Solo Boy Promotions is going to probably put him under.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna. You know what? Fuck it. They slammed me on Facebook. You know, here's my little jab. Whenever they learn how to spell payouts, we can go down that road.
I just read their post and had a real.
I almost had a stroke. I wasn't going to say a word. I was not going to say a word. I was even going to be a touch supportive of the situation, which I still hope that they're successful. I do. I hope that it works out for them, especially with us dropping down, because somebody's going to have to step up.
Yes.
And take that shit.
But they need a secretary or something.
Or a thesaurus. I mean, Google is right there.
Maybe we can get a hold of them and tech for them.
Like I said, I hope it works out because those two shows need help.
Bad. Yeah, those two do.
The ones that I heard that they got.
Yeah.
Which it'll be good to see that Derby back in Sturgeon.
Yeah.
It will. We had talked about it, you know, and it just didn't line up with what we were doing date-wise. And Higby had contacted you.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, just complete. We can't do all of it all the time.
We got too many people with jobs and lives. I mean, we talk.
Well, shit, we can't do most of it some of the time.
Yeah. More or less all of it.
All the time.
All the time.
But I'm going to catch some backlash on that one. I should have went to work.
I'm sorry. I turned my phone down.
Did y'all talk about Huntsville at all?
Yeah.
It looked like they had a step up from their last show.
Yep. Madison Dude's clean house.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
On each other.
On each other. I do know I got a phone call today that it came down to Blake and Cody and Old Iron, and they went nose to nose.
Did anybody see the slow-mo video of Tyler Milner?
Clearing Friels.
So that was Friels' car that I seen in the clip,
Yes.
wiped completely off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was bad.
Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail.
Yep. He was the hammer. He was the hammer. So,
it's not fun being the nail. I learned that quick.
We're getting the cue over there to stop talking. I just feel like we could push the envelope on one more thing before we shut this down. Is there anything else we need to talk about? How badass these payouts are for October as far as the cleanup show goes? Because I'm pretty sure we're leading the pack on the cleanup show payouts.
Before we end this, whose idea was it for 12 plates on a compact car?
I think that might have been a little mix between Reno and he was like, "How many are you giving the street stock?" I said, "A lot." And then after we talked to Austin Johnson, I was like, "Not as much as Austin Johnson." But he was like, "Well, what are you going to give the stock guys?" I was like, 4. You're going to give the street stock guys 4. He's like, "I'm going to give the compact guys 4. Get it?"
Yeah.
It's a lot of plates on a compact car.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Reno's trying to kill us. He's trying to kill everybody on the track.
You haven't seen the track yet.
We haven't either, by the way.
The dimensions are there, but it's just not built yet, which we won't build it until the week of.
Yeah, it'll be that Thursday. We'll start breaking dirt on it.
You remember in August where we put a little bit of water on it and it was just kind of greasy?
I ain't doing that no more. I'm done.
No water?
I ain't listening to the bullshit after.
There's going to be enough water to knock the dust off.
I got 2 ambulances coming.
You might need more.
And we've got a little bit.
We're pretty close to a coroner's office.
You know I'm coming to.
This guy's fascinated with grabbing second gear in a compact car. So
well, I'm going to try to give you all enough room to get to the next one.
Oh.
Because we were right at football field.
From corner to corner, it was dead nuts, 300 foot.
I went and marked it out the other day. I think we're going to be able to go 360 foot by 110.
I'm okay with it.
And that'll be straight cut berms.
Normal.
We
Arms this way.
actually, our safety guy got us a roller. So we're going to go in there and crumb the track before the Derby. Put a little bit of water on it. We're going to roll it in. That's what the moisture control is going to be. And that's what everybody's running on.
So
The
like
only-
no water throughout the show.
The only class that we will throw a little bit of water on is the gut and goes, just so somebody in that class doesn't die.
Yeah, like
Because most of those guys are younger.
But
everybody
you run
else-
them first, right?
No.
Okay.
compacts first. Let me guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every time.
You all make
You all just like to see the best show first, don't you?
You all make our track better.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I run you all first. You all can move on a muddy track. That's why you all were out there first in Salisbury whenever they fucked me
But in
up.
Shelbina, we couldn't move nowhere.
Nobody could move anywhere there.
Yeah.
That was not just a
Well,
compact issue.
the second Shelbina show, Cody hit 65 miles an hour. So
Yeah, was that a little better?
It was a lot better.
That's what it's.
Not for Greg Neal.
No, Greg was fine.
Yeah.
John, on the
John.
other hand, not so much.
I looked in there at John and I was like, oh, man, is he asleep? And I was like, no, he's not asleep. And I was like, I don't think he's down there. I went down there, I was like, are you okay? And he was like, looked like Tweety Bird was flying around.
He was just taking a nap.
So, right after he hits him, like, whole bumper gone inside the back of his car. I look down and he's just dumping trans fluid. So I'm yelling like, Cody, you're dumping trans fluid. He just goes, get me unstuck. And I'm thinking, what do you mean? You're dumping trans fluid. He's just sitting there going, I know, get me unstuck. So I ask him like, what do you mean get you unstuck? I was like, you're losing trans fluid. He's like, well, I figured I had enough time to back up and do it again. Like, oh, gosh.
See, I'm usually off at the beer garden whenever the compact's running.
There it was.
I haven't watched one yet.
He was actually standing right in front of Greg Neal's car on the wall.
Yes, he was.
I got a pass.
I was talking to somebody.
You were the
Yeah.
second one down there. You were right behind me.
I got a passenger seat if you want it.
Never. Ever. That's the only. I've been in 3 compacts in my life. Once was with Josh Gordon. And actually, that was the first car I'd ever been in my life.
Was it a Camaro?
No, it was a Fox body
Mustang,
That's even worse.
with a sunroof,
and he got knocked smooth out.
sleeping.
So
So
what it
then-
is he's scared of the compact.
So then the second one I got into was a W body, and I was driving that bitch.
Smart.
I run Boone County, and pinched fuel line. Something stupid happened. Well, then I was supposed to go run with Josh in Centralia, and he had a baby.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about this. Every time you go to have a...
Yeah, I try to depend on Josh Gordon. He ends up having a baby every time.
Who did we put in his tux for our wedding?
Nobody.
I thought we
No,
had somebody.
we were down a man,
Okay. Yeah,
which was okay with me.
yeah, because he was in the hospital having a baby.
Right. Yeah, and I think Kyle Hall ended up setting the bumper on top of my radiator that night. Like, I've got pictures of it. I'll have to dig them up before you leave. Of the radiator or the bumper on that car. I couldn't get to the radiator cap.
Yes.
Hashtag Lumina Life.
Yeah.
Now, there was plenty of room in it. And it was fast, and it was... I'm not going to say it was fun, because that would be very hypocritical of myself. But Halloween Havoc, October 15th. Be there, or be a gay compact driver. Or whatever that was.
We'll still be there.
There and the gay compact driver, I guess.
So the gay compact driver is going to be there to make junk.